What's up, everybody? This is the other video that I mentioned earlier. I was going to talk about. I'm doing these back to back because I'm pissed off. WWE has been very lackluster for the past couple of years, but they haven't pissed me off. Like for the past year, they haven't pissed me off. There have been times where they pissed me off, and this is going to be a video about that. But before I get into that, what I want to talk about a major spoiler for Smackdown. So if you're planning on watching Smackdown, you might as well just cut this video off right now because what I'm going to tell you is a spoiler. Um, to the spoiler, Jack Swagger cashes in Money in the Bank to become the World Heavyweight Champion. Now, a lot of guys or a lot of people talk about Jack Swagger. A lot of people like Jack Swagger. Um, I'm not a big fan of Jack Swagger. I mean, he does some interesting things in the ring, but Mike's skills, not impressed. He's very boring. He comes off like, like remember when Kurt Angle was with Shelton Benjamin and Charlie Haas? Remember that? Like Jack Swagger would have been like the third guy in that group, and probably Jack Swagger to me doesn't isn't he doesn't come off the page, and what I mean by that is he doesn't have that swagger as his name implies, you know. And I'm not, you know, part of that is probably because maybe this is too soon for him, maybe along the line because John Cena was like that, back when he was the prototype or whatever the fuck they were doing with him back in the day. But nobody, like, there's very rare few guys that just start off in wrestling just like, holy shit, who is that? I gotta see that. Everybody has to start somewhere. But the difference between the guys that started somewhere and ended up being great, they had a build up, a steady build up, a steady climb up the ladder to main event status that was defined, that made sense. And you know, guys like Jack Swagger, Sheamus, and Drew McIntyre, though they might be something to watch in the future, I mean, you can't just thrust them in the spotlight when they're not ready. And you know what? That's unfair to the guys that have been there before them, that have put the work in. And that's where I get pissed off. Because instead of fucking Jack Swagger, who, I don't, what is he, a baby? He's not a baby face, but the tweener or heel or whatever, goes over Chris Jericho. I mean, you could have had fucking John Morrison. You had 10 guys in the fucking Money in the Bank. What's one more? You could have had John Morrison in the Money in the Bank ladder match. You could have had John Morrison win the Money in the Bank ladder match, because the only thing he hasn't done in this company is become world champion. He's been Intercontinental champion, and to me that's equivalent to being U.S. champion. So he doesn't really need that belt. He could have gone over Chris Jericho on SmackDown, on the SmackDown tapings, won the world title, his first world title. You can believe him as a world champion because they put him over in the Elimination Chamber match. And, he could have gone over Chris Jericho, the number one heel in the company right now, as one of the top baby faces. It would have been way better, would have come off better, would have made more sense than fucking Jack Swagger. And you know what? I'm really pissed off because I think the same thing that happened to Elijah Burke is going to happen to John Morrison. And it's a shame because John Morrison he's one of my favorite young guys out right now, and he's probably the closest thing to Shawn Michaels that we're going to get for a long time. So, it just, this is not me as a John Morrison mark talking. I mean, this just could have made sense. He's been tag team champion. He's been multiple time intercontinental champion. They have the DVD out for him. That could have popped numbers for their DVDs, for his DVD sale. You know, this could have been. You know, they could have booked him similar to how they were booking Shawn Michaels after he won the title from Brett. Boyhood dream and all that shit or whatever. They could have tweaked it, but it could have made so much more sense. But instead, you put the title on Jack Swagger, and you know what? I look forward to seeing those promos to see how those go over. You know, who's he gonna feud with? Because obviously Edge and Jericho are gonna be feuding with until Extreme Rules. Undertaker, I think, is gonna be taking his fucking sabbatical. So who's he gonna feud with? That's a, I mean, I don't know. And now that they put the title on, basically he's gonna be champion for a while, at least until Edge and fucking Chris Jericho is over with. But what could work, you know, lemons in the lemonade. Maybe you can feud with Christian. They feud over the ECW title. They can feud over the world title. Please, who cares? Take the belt off of him as soon as possible at the next pay per view if you have to. Put it on Christian. Have Edge and Christian feud over the title, please, please, please. I've been wanting that ever since Christian got back to WWE. Fuck, like what the fuck? Is this the new clique or something? Sheamus and Drew McIntyre? What the fuck? I hate the fact that they just push these guys to the moon. I mean, when the fans and the internet wrestling community as a whole said we want new stars, we didn't mean just find any old fucking dude and put the strap on him. We meant use the guys that you have. Use the guys that have put in work for your company. Build them up gradually. So when they win the world title, the shit is special. The shit is memorable. And it makes their careers for years to come. And you don't have to worry about what are we going to do when Shawn Michaels retires. Or what are we going to do when Taker retires. Or what are we going to do when Triple H decides he wants to stop wrestling and own the company. You know? But yeah, I don't know. Just fuck. WWE was doing good with me. They were not pissing me off. They weren't amazing me, but they weren't pissing me off. They pissed me off when I read this shit. So pray to God that ROH gets a major TV deal. If ROH gets a major TV deal, I swear to God that I will not watch TNA or WWE ever again. I put that on everything. So that's my quick little rant. Order Go Fight Live. Go to gofightlive.com. Order the Big Bang. Big Bang's gonna be tight. Support ROH. Support your local indie wrestling scenes. I can't really do that. Because I'm on the West Coast and I'm in the asshole of the West Coast right now. So yeah, just and keep voicing your opinion. Don't let people call you critics or whatever. Fuck them, okay? Voice your opinion because without that, you're just gonna keep getting shit.